this condition, right? So to me, what we want to do is we want to figure out, what the dollar amounts are, right, that are actually over potentially that 300,000, or just what the dollar amounts in general are, for any claim that's above that. So we can go ahead and kind of update this calculation. The first thing that I would do is that I would actually set, our new condition to include the actual incurred loss. So instead of yes, right, we can actually put the incurred loss itself. Otherwise, we would just want 0, right? If it's above, so if it's at yes, then we want the incurred. Otherwise, we just want it to be 0. So in this case, we've changed the formula. So I actually would want to change the name. So you would want to go to Save As, right? And in this case, again, I do happen to have it already created. I'm going to call it Amounts, and we'll do V2. And I do want to save this out so that you guys can see the process of how I would save as and how I would go through. I know you may see the calculations already there, but just as far as that goes, just kind of wanted to have it as a reference, as we go through here, just so that you guys can see how it's built. I think it's important, right, to create that version too. Okay. So let's go ahead and refresh. All right, now one way that we could call up the data, of course, is by using V2 to our advantage. And as we develop these, they'll continue to come in. So right now, what we're doing is we're pulling everything, right, just based on this yes. So right now we're getting all of our incurred based on a yes flag or yes condition, essentially, right? So what we would want to do is we would actually want to find out, to take this the next step, right, to develop this calculation even further. We would want to find out what the difference is of how much is actually over that $300,000 threshold. So we need to have an additional calculation thrown in, right? So let's go ahead and develop that. So the thing that we would want to do here is we would want to subtract by that 300,000, right? Let's go ahead and put that in place. Run it. All right, and then this time I want to save as. This would be the deductible. Okay, so give me just a second here. There. Okay, and then we can go ahead and throw that here. You can see how that popped up immediately down here. Sometimes it doesn't pop up immediately. Sometimes you have to refresh. Sometimes you do have to use the refresh metadata as well, just to get that calculation in place. Now you can see, as far as the actual number, right, we are subtracting by that 300,000. At this point, you can see that the 147,000 is only showing based upon the fact that